Today I want to share what I have learned through my human weaknesses and built on my strength. For most, weakness is something we try to avoid due to the lack of its success and derailing. Some, on the other hand, I dare to say, more than 80% of humans would rather confine within their space of strength. Of course, this is not proven, just a spectacle observation from my part. However, I've discovered that both of these subjects are more harmoniously successful than they would ever have been apart. Furthermore, I will explain 3 points. 1. Learning the weaknesses. 2. The act of strength through action and failure. And lastly, orchestrating both strength and weaknesses. Point number 1, learning through weakness. If there's one thing I have learned, is that weakness can only reveal what you need and don't have. When I was in high school, I played 4 years of varsity soccer. Ask me how I did this? Well, it wasn't easy, but I did have a map set up for me. And by map, I mean I had 2 older brothers playing varsity. And I had been playing soccer since I could walk. As a freshman in varsity soccer, I wanted to play forward and make goals, but the coach saw me playing defense instead because I could control the ball and was fast. So I thought, the truth be told, I didn't have the sufficient skills to play first line forward and needed more experience. At the time, I wasn't happy, but I loved the game and playing is all I wanted to do. The ironic thing is that I felt that defense was my weakness and I wouldn't learn anything and it was a waste of my talent. Granted, we had 2 very good forwards, one being my brother. However, playing defense taught me a great lesson. Weakness is a time to observe and study your opponent, thus allowing you to strike at the right time. When I would play defense against another team or opponent, I would allow myself to make multiple mistakes and let my opponent believe that they were better than me. On contrary, I was studying their every move, and when the right time came, I would strike unexpectedly and unnoticed, leaving my opponent confused and lost. So if you ever find yourself in a point of weakness, say to yourself, I am strong, because you have discovered what you need and don't have, giving you the best plan of defense in life. Point number 2, the act of strength through action and failure. Now, strength is an easy topic to talk about, but in my observation, I have noticed one thing, that some lack the act of action and failure. What does that mean exactly? Well, it means that many people have the brute strength to accomplish greatness, but don't act or take action on what they want to do. What's the cause of this? Well, there are many reasons. For example, pride, arrogance, naive, and fear itself. But there's a root that I have discovered that gives life to all these subjects, and that's the lack of knowledge. Knowledge, you say? I know, it's kind of unusual, but let me explain. When a human lacks the knowledge of a subject, they are blind to the fact that it exists, meaning that if you never talk about it or hear of such things, it is as if it was never created in the first place. So how does one know or take action towards their strengths? Here's what I discovered. Tests. Let me give you an analogy. When metal is tested for its strength, it is put through 3 types of tension tests that would determine 1. How strong the metal is until it's plastically deformed, meaning a change of shape. 2. Its max strength after the plastic deforming, meaning after the change of shape. And 3. The remaining strength of the metal until its breaking point. So what does that mean for us? Well, it's very simple. 1. The knowledge of our strength comes from the test we have in our lives, meaning many times in our lives we have been tested by people, projects, circumstances, and ourselves. 2, through those tests we have come to know how much pressure one can take until they start changing and ultimately fail. That's the beauty of strength. Many of us are afraid to take action because we think we are going to fail and don't bet on our strengths, when in reality we should bet on our strengths and expect to fail, because ultimately that's what strength will succumb to in the end. Remember these 2 quotes. There are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. Colin Powell. And words from Abraham Lincoln. My great concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with your failure. Point number 3, orchestrating both strengths and weaknesses. So lastly, we come to how do we orchestrate both our strengths and weaknesses? In our world, we have been arguing for peace, equality, respect, race, etc. This is something that we have been fighting over for years, and maybe not in the same topic, but well versed in the same concept. And as difficult of a plan to solve all this chaos, I have seen a place that brings many difficulties but effective results, and that is humility. A place where we see a low view of one's importance, lack of pride, lack of vanity. This is a place where the harmony of strength and weaknesses can work together and become one, creating a balance between both worlds. I'll leave you with this. With weakness comes strength, and with strength comes weakness. Together they are strong and accountable, but separate, strength can become vanity, and weakness without grace can become destructive. My name is Jimenez, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.